Hello, good evening. Please write in the comment box if you're here. Haritra Mandal, hi, how are you? Good evening. Annapurna Pal, good evening. Aditya, good evening. Himanshu, good evening. Love cats, how are you? All good. Kapil, good evening. We'll start in just a minute or two. I'm doing well, thank you very much. So, what do you think about the markets? Are you excited? Are you not so happy? Hi Vikas, are you fearful? Write some one word which is describing your current market perception. Are you excited? Are you bullish? Are you fearful? Give me one word on how you're feeling about the markets. I am quite confident actually that we are doing all right. Kapil says cautious. Okay, that's good. Vikas says I'm happy. Very good. Chotu Kumar says hello. Hello, Chotu. How are you doing? Okay. So I think we'll just may wait 60 more seconds. Dreamer says confused. Lovecat says I'm happy. Himanshu says I'm following top 10 strategy of on Elon markets. Aditya says I'm positive. Lokesh says good evening. Good evening, Lokesh. Himanshu says I'm confident. Very good. Confident, happy are good, positive outlook to have. Vipul says VIX कब बढ़ेगा? I wish I knew VIX कब बढ़ेगा, but the way things are going in the West, maybe some shock is due between here and end of the year. But that is just a speculative guess. Option trading करना चाहिए. Shoto saying option trading करना चाहिए. Yeah, 99% people are doing that. As I did a story today on the app, 99% people are doing options trading. The volume on derivatives market is 400% of the underlying uh, cash market. Is becoming a bit of a gamification of the entire market actually. Okay, let's start our presentation. So there'll be a short presentation followed by some time to do Q&A. Um, Once I finish my presentation, I will then ask you to put in your questions. Please don't put them right now. Um, Q&A, once it starts, then you can put in your questions one by one. Love Cats is saying, I want to learn more about the market. So that's all that I do on Twitter and on YouTube and on such forums where I'm trying to share whatever I know about the markets. Okay. Nifty fell dramatically in the month of October. First 10 days were good. We went from near 19,500 to near 19,800. This jump up here in October. And then the last 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks were just crashing down and a bounce towards the end. Overall, if we see the month of October, we've lost about 500 points. So not such a big deal. We still retain our 200 DMA, and on the weekly chart, sorry, this is the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, we had a pull down, but if you see, I mean, we are still making higher highs, higher lows. So from a monthly chart perspective, unless we break below 17,000, I think we are doing quite all right on a overall basis. Yearly chart, of course, is just like the previous year. So 2022 and 2023 look very, very similar. So we are going up that chart. It's the eighth year as a green candle. The red candles are becoming rarer and rarer as more and more money gets printed in the system. There's more and more money that gets thrown at the market. Small caps did a very sharp cut in the second last week of October, and then came back up sharply. If I see today's about 4 5 days later, we are very much near the all-time highs again. So small caps overall are doing quite well. Mid caps had some sell off, uh, maybe about 5% kind of sell off, and most of it today, I think it was near 40,000, have also recovered. Dollar index is something that one is watching for. Dollar index and US dollar yield. Dollar index has started one leg down. How far we go down, I don't know. But if this does sustain for some time, that will be very good for the Indian market. Quickly, let's see what the indices have done. So in month of October, Nifty is down 1.5%. CNX 500 also down 1.5%. CNX 200 down 1.6%. Mid and small cap down 1.7%. Small caps hardly going down, minus 0.4%. And Nifty Next 50 also doing quite all right, minus 0.7%. This was the index. In terms of strategies, NG 50/50, the free ETF strategy, has done the best at plus 2.4%. HNI Wealth Builder, which was earlier called MI50, is up 2%. So it has beaten the underlying benchmark, the small and mid cap, by a wide margin, almost 3.7%. MI All Cap has done all right. MI Evergreen is slightly in the green. Top 10 is flat, but compared to Nifty, it has done well, taking 1.5% lead here. NNF10 is down 0.1%, slightly better than the index here. MI20 is down 0.2%. Again, better than minus 1.7% on the mid and small cap index. MI35 is down 0.9%, slightly worse off than the small cap 250 index. MI25 is minus 1.9%. MI ATH2 minus 4.9. MI30 5.8 down versus 1.5. MI ATH minus 7.2. So these were the big laggards for this month. ATH and ATH2 getting hit uh, quite dramatically. MI30 also getting hit, and MI25 also hit more than the benchmark. Within the sectoral trends, there is only one super sector out there, which is real estate, plus 11.3%. I have been harping about this real estate story for a long time, and I get a lot of brickbats also for it on Twitter. A lot of trolls also keep telling me that you are pushing real estate and this and that. But that is a reality in front of you, right? I mean, if real estate on ground is going up, I can only vouch for NCR region where I live. Things are going up. I mean, despite whatever caution is there in the economy, real estate is going up because real estate and inflationary times are like synonymous. Whenever you will have higher inflation, real estate will always go up. That is the at least the experience that I have seen in the last 30 40 years. uh, uh, that I have uh, been with, tracking the markets. FMCG up 1.1%, public sector enterprise stocks 1.1%, energy, auto, and consumption marginally up. But PSU banks losing a big chunk at minus 6.1% in October, metals losing 4.7%, IT, pharma, and private banking also losing ground. So mixed bag, I would say, largely skewed towards the red, but one sector really standing out, and that is the real estate sector. You can see that commodities index is very well poised, just about 5% below its all-time highs. Real estate is, as I said, is a phenomenal chart. It broke out at 550, and then subsequently higher lows, and it's going up. Uh, Metals is also not bad, coming from some base and making consolidation and trying to break out here. Autos is moving up very dramatically. We are up from 6,000 to 16,000 in just a matter of just 3 years. So 3 years, if we are going from 150% up. That's pretty remarkable for the auto sector. FMCG also going up from 30,000 to nearly 51,000 over about 3 year period. So that is also about 60% gain in 3 year period, which is quite well. Public sector enterprise stocks are in a huge move up, again going from nearly 2,000 to 6,000. So tripling of public sector enterprise index over a period of time. Energy stocks had gotten beaten down, but since April they are coming back and very near all-time high. So overall, pharma is also not too bad. Staying very near all-time highs, and this leg seems to have more legs going forward. IT is the one which is a bit soft. This correction that came in the first half of 2022 has more or less been in range. It kind of broke out, but broke down back again. So this range is continuing. Whether we break down in this range or go up is to be seen. Spotlight for today's presentation is on HNI Wealth Builder product. This is a product based on the mid and small cap 400 index. A period for this financial year is up 52% versus 33.5 on the underlying index. So a remarkable performance there. Uh, Absolute performance since start, and this has been live since 2016, either first as a universal product and later on as a small case, has been just outstanding. CAGR has been much ahead of the underlying benchmark. Max drawdown has been half of the underlying benchmark, and absolute performance also is there in front of you. The ROMAD ratio is probably one of the best across all products. So 100 rupees invested March 31st, 2016 is now 655, which is quite a remarkable achievement. In terms of drawdowns, you can see when market falls, the dotted line is the index. So after a certain fall, the strategy goes to cash. So if the market falls further, there is no further fall in the strategy. That is the beauty of strategies that go to cash. Of course, when the recovery comes, they are a bit slow to recover because it takes time for cash to get redeployed into the market. So maybe this recovery from the bottom, maybe somewhere after 10-15% gain is where the recovery starts in the strategy. But overall, these kind of strategies with lower drawdown than the market always gives you better sleep. So just to summarize, it's an absolute momentum strategy with 1,000 crore market cap and above, up to 50 stocks, weekly rebalance, dynamically allocated to cash. This is a large allocation product, so minimum recommended capital is 25 lakhs. You can start with 10, but we want you to build it up to 25 lakhs to a crore fast. Number of slots that we're opening up, and we will remain closed after we fill this is 100, and this is going to get launched on Muhurat session on Sunday at 6 p.m. So one will need to play fastest fingers first to get into this. If you want to, you can submit your interest in the link that I'll also put in the description box. And now, we can start the Q&A session. So if you can just put your questions in the comment box now, starting now, I'll be happy to take them up one by one. I have a time limit of 7:45, so we have a good half an hour to do this. So please start your questions right here. I'll take a couple of more ones that have already come in. So Lokesh says, is it safe to pyramid at this stage? So pyramiding is a very advanced level strategy. If you are able to do pyramiding basis, your own overlay of strategies, that is well and good. You must always do it. Pyramiding, see, will have to be done till the last stage. So market is going up, market is going exponential. You'll have to pyramid up. Otherwise, the pyramid effect will not come through. Vipul says book recommendation for momentum investing. So I haven't read many books in a long time on momentum, but Gary Antonacci's book on dual momentum is a very good one. And then you have Wesley Gray sorry, Wes Gray. Uh, yeah, what's the name of the book? I'm forgetting, but he's a great writer on momentum. And I'll think more about one or two books more on momentum. And you can also look at some of the media or videos that are there on weekendinvesting.com, where I've explained certain strategies. My interviews with Vivek Bajaj of Stock Edge also has some strategies. You can get a good idea um, for that. Ganesh says, "What is the risk for small case for due to war? Any hedge?" So the biggest hedge anybody can take is to buy gold. I always recommend that you must have significant amount of allocation to gold. Most people don't have it. They laugh off my suggestion that age divided by 2 as net worth percentage of your as your percentage of net worth should be gold. So if you are 30-year-old, 15% should be gold. If you are 50-year-old, should be 25% gold. That is my thumb rule, which I think is right, or at least the minimum that you one should have. But again, I mean, it's one person's word against others, so there is no rule in stone, line in stone on that. Uh, Himanshu says, when should we exit in mid cap top 10? When is it out of top 10 or top 20? I don't understand the second part of the question, but exiting can be done at any point if you want to exit, but the strategies uh, can take care of themselves if you are in for the long term. Look at equity and look at all these strategies with a 4 5 year minimum period of outlook, because we don't know how markets will behave in the short term. But over a longer period, we have seen that in 3 to 5 years, you will get one big upcycle. That has been the experience, although there are no guarantees for that as well. Vikas says, I am a retired person. Can I opt for HNI Wealth Builder? I have the required money. So this question is actually, I am not the right person to answer this, because we cannot do any financial planning analysis or give any recommendation, not knowing the risk profile of your uh, of your account. So your financial planner, if you have one, will be able to advise how much percentage you should put towards equity. And yes, if that percentage is within the bracket what we are looking for, then definitely a slightly higher risk taking ability if you keep for mid cap and small caps, then you can definitely come into this product. Gurpreet says, please guide which is more effective, 200 EMA or weekly support group 1. Again, there is no one rule uh, that is sacrosanct. You can build a strategy around 200 EMA, or you could build a strategy around weekly support, or 20-day moving average or 50-day moving average. So these are all just numbers, and you will need to test out each strategy and see the kind of stocks that you're dealing with. If they are more smaller cap stocks, you will need to give them more room to play because they are more volatile. So that is the way of how you will backtest and create a rule for your strategy. Or if you just do a rotational strategy, then you can build on a ranking based system, how much a stock has moved, let's say over 12 months or 6 months or whatever it may be, or a RSI based system. There's so many ways of, I mean, there's no one way of doing momentum. So one being more effective than the other does not exist. That question does not exist. Mithun says, good evening. Could you please share why MI20 small scale fraction is less than MI25? So these are all business decisions at various times. Some legacy issues may be there when we started, a certain pricing was there. Then maybe at some later point of time, we decided to have a pricing which will encourage younger and more, smaller portfolio holders to also uh, come into the system and grow along. So these are all business decisions from time to time. There is no sort of real formula that I can share with you why it is such. Ganesh says risk level of the small case, high volatility or medium. So these are again also numbers that don't mean too much in their absolute manner. But as I showed you, let me show you again that when the uh, drawdowns happen, um, and you can see that max drawdown is 50% of what happened in mid and small cap index, whereas CAGR is almost 60% more. ROMAT ratio above 1. So ROMAT ratio above 1 would possibly classify for medium kind of risk. But again, I mean, it depends upon what is that range of medium, low, and high volatility that you take. Sahib says, I've subscribed to MI20, MI25, MI35 Evergreen. How should I decide whether to retain these or move to HNI Wealth Builder? So your three strategies that are MI20, 25, and 35 are in the same domain or same subset as HNI Wealth Builder, which is mid and small cap. So if you want to, you could switch these three into HNI Wealth Builder and keep MI Evergreen, which is a largely a large cap strategy. Or if you wish to also keep some core small cap focus, you could keep MI35 and MI Evergreen and switch MI20, MI25 into HNI Wealth Builder. These are the two sort of options that you could look at. Any other questions? I have some time. Please let me know if you have more questions. Usually we run out of time, but today we have run out of questions. Maybe it is just the time of the session, which is not a Saturday. Usually we do it on a Saturday, but this time I was not available. So we tried to do on a Sunday evening, but the India match was there, so people said, don't keep it at that time. Uh, Mithun says it is a good idea to invest to small case and move it from mutual fund. So not my place to say that don't do mutual funds, because they also do good work, and why should I uh, say anything about anybody else's product? But it is for you to see whether what kind of returns you have been able to generate and what is the effort that is required, because mutual funds of course are buy and sleep. Of course, they also have better tax efficiency, but in most cases, many small cases beat those returns also. So you will need to see what gives you more peace of mind. Tyagarajan says, I'm invested in MI20. Can I invest more than 10 lakhs in it? Yes, you can invest more than 10 lakhs, but don't go too far beyond. These are again mid and small cap stocks, so very large orders can cause slippages. So this is something for some moderation. Ganesh says recommended SIP for 25 lakhs. I don't understand what this means. Can you please tell me what this means? Vipul says, can I pledge ATH2 and use it to stairs? I don't recommend any pledging and leveraging. This is up to you whether if you would wish to play a higher risk game. You could definitely pledge stocks, but also keep in mind that if a rebalance comes around, it will take about 2 days for you to unpledge your stocks and sell them. So there may be some gap between your performance and the model performance because of that. Ideally, I would not want anybody to do this kind of leverage, but again, I mean, depending upon your uh, risk appetite and ability to do this. Uh, Mithun says, I'm getting same fund every time when I'm trying to top up in small case, so it is getting overweight. What is the solution? Please explain what does it mean, because I'm not very clear about what it means. I'm getting the same fund every time. Ganesh says, if I choose HNI investing at 25 lakhs, what is the recommended SIP amount monthly? So I would recommend that you start minimum at 10 lakhs and gradually or as fast as you can build it up to 25 lakhs over a few months maybe. So you can calculate what kind of a monthly potential you have to build in, because the fee level should not be more than, let's say, 2% of your annual capital. So if you start at 10 lakhs, you want to build it to 25 lakhs ASAP. Uh, so the question Mithun had was, I'm getting the same stocks every time and I'm trying to top up. That should not be the case. Maybe the capital that you've deployed is below the recommended minimum. Is If that is the case, you should bring your capital first to minimum recommendation, because inadequate capital can cause this to happen. You can send us a mail. We'll check out your account, or we'll have a small case look at it and we'll find a solution. No worries on that. Any other question? Gurpreet says, should we stick to our selected stock universe or change if we got an opportunity in another one? So let's say you were in mid and small cap segment, and now that you've made some money in that, uh, so now you may want to move to large cap. So that can work, but that is very discretionary sort of move, because who knows? I mean, small caps may go up 50% from here again, and large caps may not move. So I mean, that is something that, I mean, at least in our strategies, we don't want to have any discretion on that. But if you are able to balance out both types of stock universe, that will give you a good diversification as well as good complementarity of the two. Anurag says, for MI Evergreen, have you considered moving to cash along with gold? So the design of that strategy is rotational. So if we were to sort of consider moving to cash, yes, a strategy of that kind can also be designed, but the with the current design of Evergreen does not have a moving to cash option, because it moving to cash is basically trying to hedge against the downside, whereas in this strategy we've already allocated to gold, so the hedging should come from gold, and no, there should be no need to go to cash. That is the sort of recommendation. Mithun says, Angel 1 has been trimmed out of my small case after rebalance. Now I'm trying to top up. I'm getting Angel 1 recommendation in my top up. Okay, so small case algo, will do some funny things uh, if the amount is smaller. So I really don't know if your amount is less than the recommended capital. If it is not, and it is still doing that, uh, we will definitely, we can have a word with small case. But there are some, uh, lacuna. I should not call it lacuna, but uh, the way the small case algorithm is designed, that it tries to bring the portfolio of the user as close to the model as possible. So um, it may happen that the stock is coming down, but it is not out of the portfolio. So it will try to add to that stock only, to bring it back to the weights. I don't think much of this impacts the returns in any significant way. These are very, very micro movements that we have. But in any case, I mean, if the capital is larger than what is recommended, and it is still happening, we can definitely have more discussion on this. Mukundrao says, max allocation for MI20s increased recently. If yes, why is it so? So we have studied the impact of the current user base on the stocks, and we found that there is no slippage, and hence we are confident that with more AUM, the same strategy can be run. So gradually we have gone step by step from 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs to wherever it is now. So this is something that is a something that has been looked at and then allowed. Foxbat visit Victor says, earlier there was a video on EMR tool for active investors. Please refresh it. I made a similar request previous month and you said it will be done. Sadly, nothing was done. I'm so sorry, Foxbat Victor. If I promise something, I should have done it for sure. I will note this down, and I'll let you know through general announcement when we are able to do the EMA tool. We have a tool. I remember we are. It is there on the Weekend Investing Hub, uh, but maybe we need to refresh it. We'll take a relook at it before the next month. Yeah. Vipul Pal says, I tried customize option and stayed with outperforming stock, but after some time, the small case automatically shows in rebalance to come in original weight. So small case will always try to bring you back to the original weight. So if you customize it, then you have to keep customizing it and not hit rebalance without customizing them. If you want to, play that pro game and not have the regular. Thank you, Mithun. Sahib has another one with HNI Wealth Builder. Can there be any concern in the longer run when portfolio size increases from starting capital of 1 crore? Also, can SIP be added over and above 1 crore capital? So, we are recommending 25 lakhs to 1 crore. It is not a starting of 1 crore. Uh, over a period of time, you would also expect market depths to increase. So 10 years back, what was the market depth versus now is some change, right? So 10 years back, if I was running a strategy similar in nature, maybe I would not have recommended this size at that point of time. So we then that is the whole reason that we are going to open only 100 slots, because we believe that we can sustain that kind of AUM on it. And if people's portfolio go widely beyond, we will have other products within the HNI segment to diversify into. Because see, whether I allow or not, you can still buy larger amounts either through small case or directly outside. I cannot control that, and I don't want to control it also. But the only thing is that if you will try to beat the system will beat you back. You will start getting slippages, you will start getting circuit breakers on the stocks. So nobody gains out of that, right? So better is that we stick to some discipline and play along with that. Any other question? Today, the questions are few and the time is more. This is a change from last many months of live sessions, and we have learned a lesson never to do a live session in the evening anymore. I'll wait for another 60 seconds if anybody has a question. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. Okay, Vikas says, I'm a subscriber of MI Evergreen and MI Top 10. What is your advice shifting the money to HNI Wealth Builder? So these are totally different segments. MI Evergreen and MI Top 10 are largely large cap stocks. HNI Wealth Builder is mostly mid and small cap stocks. So if your risk profile is that of mid and small cap stocks, or you want to take exposure there, only then you should move, otherwise not. Or if you have the funds, ideal combination is if you have all three. Vipul Pal says, does no reality share come into ATH2 strategy? So again, it is non-discretionary. Whatever comes. So we really can't say why real estate. Uh, can we have an absolute momentum version of MI20? So in some ways, MI50 is or the HNI Wealth Builder is an absolute momentum version of small and mid caps, although it is of course of higher portfolio requirement, but that is the current absolute version of the same space. I would not say it is a version of MI20, but it is in the same space. Any other question? Okay, Mukund Rao says need daily bites in YouTube. Can you please consider this? So my team is trying to create some YouTube strategy. Uh, we have been putting all the content on the app. Uh, Once the app is kind of right now, my challenge is, and I'm very sharing very honestly and frankly with you guys. Uh, Only 30-40% of the weekend investors have downloaded the app. So I want all weekend investors to download the app. Is there anybody here who has not downloaded the app? I would like to know why. All the content is coming there. All the emergency notifications are coming there. The chat is much faster in terms of support. There is premium content that is available there. Why would you not use the app? Uh, is there anybody who can give an answer here who does not have the app and can give a reason why they don't have an app? Anybody? I guess all of you have the app. I guess in this case, Vipul says any upcoming meeting in Jaipur. So we will definitely do it. But the next stop is likely to be Bangalore in the month of December. We haven't announced it, but since you have, uh, you know, taken time out to log in, you must have some additional information. Um, so December is going to be Bangalore. Hmm. Uh, okay, so Foxbat Victor says more videos on psychology. Okay, we'll do that for sure. कुलदीप सेज एब्सोल्यूट मोमेंटम और रिलेटिव मोमेंटम दोनों में से कम ड्रॉडाउन से ज्यादा रिटर्न किस में बनता है? तो कम ड्रॉडाउन चाहिए और रिटर्न भी ज्यादा चाहिए, ऐसे कैसे होगा? यू कांट हैव द केक एंड ईट इट टू. अगर रिटर्न ज्यादा चाहिए तो ड्रॉडाउन भी थोड़ा ज्यादा भुगतना पड़ेगा यूजुअली. तो मेरा पर्सनल फेवरेट एब्सोल्यूट मोमेंटम है, क्योंकि जब मार्केट गिरती है और जब स्टॉक्स गिर रहे होते हैं तो मेरे को अच्छा लगता है कि कैश में जाके मैं बैठ गया और मार्केट गिर रही है. डीप ड्रॉडाउन इज समथिंग दैट आई पर्सनली डोंट लाइक, और रिलेटिव मोमेंटम में थोड़ा सा डीप ड्रॉडाउन हो सकता है. तो रिटर्न्स का तो मिक्स्ड बैग है, मतलब कभी एब्सोल्यूट में तो ऐसे नॉर्मली ज़्यादा बनता है, बट रिलेटिव में अभी बन रहा है बहुत. MI 20, MI 35 ऑल डूइंग वेरी वेल. तो इसका कोई मतलब बहुत क्लियर आंसर मैं दे नहीं पाऊंगा इसका. अच्छा, मुकुंद says consuming videos on TV in the evening is better and easy, so need daily bite on YouTube. Okay, maybe this is a good reason for daily bites on YouTube. Our effort was to, have all weekend investing related things at one place within the app, and we have a good, I think 6-7 thousand people already on the app. So we need to go further and have more discussions on that channel. But yeah, I mean, YouTube also we can put some content there. We will not be able to put all the content, but we need to put some content on YouTube. I'm noting this down so that we can have a discussion internally. Okay. Abhineet says I'm a subscriber of MI All Cap and ATH2. I am 41 years old, plan to retire by 50. Would like to know if I should continue with these two or add any other strategies. I think these two are very good strategies. All cap gives you a very good all-round coverage, and ATH gives you that punch whenever markets are doing their thing. So from that perspective, this is good. But if you are reaching the limits of what is recommended as size of the strategies, I would recommend you can go look at HNI Wealth Builder or some other strategy which is slightly more small cap oriented. Right now it is a mixed bag and larger cap orientation, but you can look at more small cap orientation. Okay, so this is one reason that Foxbet is giving app for everything. Apps are increasing, RAM space is decreasing. I have downloaded the app. Okay. So maybe we should also recommend everybody upgrade their phones to some new phones, since that now this year. Most strategies have made good money. Abhinit says, I'm investing 60,000 a month and I have a goal of 2 crores by next 9 years. So you will need more strategies because these two strategies will not be able to sustain that large a capital over a period of time. Sahib says, if I'm clear on my risk profile, is there a way I can get assistance from you in selecting the ideal combination? Yes, so you can book a Calendly call. So on the app, there is a way to book a call with our team. You can book a call, you can have a 10-15 minute discussion with them. You can give your suggestions, they can give their suggestions. They can also do, make you go to the weekend investing website where you can put in your 2 3 different strategies, put in the weights and see what is the kind of outcome you could have got. All those analytics etc are possible, so we will assist you for sure. The only thing that we can't do is to advise you what you should be doing. That is not within the license that we carry. Dr. Nayak says, can I invest 1 crore for 10 years in HNI Wealth Builder? So our recommended range is 25 lakhs to 1 crore. So maybe if you start from maybe 25-50 lakhs, and over a few years it will go to crore, or and by that time we will have a recommendation beyond crore also. So definitely you can do that. There will be more products that will come into that space, and you could distribute it there as well. Mukund Rao say thanks. So thank you very much. So I think we are almost there in terms of time. There are no more questions. Uh, we can, I think, call it a day here. It's a long one for you as well. Let's hope that markets will reward us for the next month, and I will do this again a month later. And well, I'll take the last one again from Mr. Victor. There was a video on MI25 where you said it did not perform for 2 years. Yeah, yeah. So there are many periods where many strategies have not performed for 1 or 2 years. That's not because the underlying index itself is not performing. If you take the period of 2018 till 2020, you will see that small caps are not performing. And as I showed you, let me show you again then. Uh, this is okay. You can see right here 2018 mid and small cap index is 176. The next time it hits 176 is, sorry, 176 here, and 2020 December. So 3 years later, you got even in terms of the index, whereas on the strategy, you were there in about 2.5 years instead of three. So the strategy recovered faster, but yes, there was a lull for 2.5 years. I mean, you went from 100 to 200 in a matter of 1.5 years. So money doubled in 1.5 years, and then it didn't do anything for 2.5 years. That is perfectly normal. Then you went from 170 to 470, so almost 2.5 times, and then you did not do anything for maybe 2 years. Again, 2 years, nothing done, and then you went from 435 to 655, another 50% gain. So small and mid cap and even large cap for that matter will always remain lumpy. It is a equity is a lumpy business. You will get some years which are really good, some years that are flat, some years that are bad, and that is par for the course. Okay, more questions. Is it a good time to invest in small cap since it has already rallied, or wait until next year election results? Nobody can give you answer for this. Maybe by election the small caps will go up 50% from here. Maybe they will crash down 50% from here. So there is nobody who can call this except Nostradamus. We don't have access to him, and we will basically keep following our strategy and hope that all strategies will have a auto healing, auto recovery, auto self correcting nature. So whatever happens, these strategies will come back. I have no doubt in that. So thank you so much all for your time this evening. I hope some questions got answered to your satisfaction. I'm sure some did not get answered to your satisfaction. I am sorry about that. Do send us email if you want us to dig deeper into some problem that you're having. I have noted the few suggestions that you have. We will certainly discuss it and try to implement it. But that's all I have for today. Thank you. Good evening.